So anyway, tonight's gonna be really cool. We've got, by request, a lot of things came up last session. I was really excited about it. Falling leaf came up because we were talking about changes of direction and figure eight, and a falling leaf is a wonderful exercise to help that. So we had lots and lots and lots of video submissions. And oh, thank you, Mary. Mary gets 1,000 points for reminding me to hit the recording. Mike, did you already start the recording? Yes, I did. Okay, and is it recording to the cloud? Oh, perfect. So Mike did it. Yay! Thank you very much, Mary. That was awesome. I would have forgotten it again because I always do. It even says right on my notes, start the recording. So the falling leaf was great, and we had like a whole bunch of video submissions for that. So thank you for sending those in. We're going to use them. And then I did a short video with Sticks, who doesn't know that exercise very well, and we'll look at some of the geometry of it tonight. So I think that's going to really help when you see the angles and how the falling leaf pattern presents the correct angle for hindquarter and forequarter yields. Really lots of excitement there. I'm super pleased with that. So everybody that sent in videos, thank you. Also, we talked about, a question came up last time on footfalls. So we'll start with footfalls and a quick review of the footfalls and the different gaits. And that's also really important to know as you advance your riding, and if you're not riding, where the feet are in relation to the gaits is real important for your timing. And we'll talk about that. So I'm really excited about that. First, Zoom etiquette though, please keep yourself muted. Raise your hand if you have a question, and give me a thumbs up if I have permission to interrupt and redirect us back onto topic. I always ask that because I'm always nervous about doing that. I don't want anybody to think I'm rude. Mike, you didn't put your thumb up. Okay, Mike did. Okay, good. Thanks, everybody. And you don't have to put your video on, but it's much more interactive if you do. So I welcome you to do that. And if you'd rather remain, if you're not looking your best or something, we don't really care. Zoom makes you look better. I don't know if you guys know that. There's a setting on there that makes you look younger. So you might want to put your video on. Yeah, woohoo! Cool. And remember, if you need to leave the meeting for any reason to run and get some snacks or go to the bathroom or anything like that, you can leave the video on, but don't take it with you because it would be distracting. And we don't want to have any internet video sensations. We've been doing really good so far. You can tell I used to teach junior high school, so kind of like I'm thinking of all of you as junior high kids and what you could possibly do to be embarrassing. So thank you very much. That's it for all that. Oh, somebody asked last week, they were having trouble seeing the video because it was small. So if you have the ability, if you're on a phone, if you swipe right or left, you can go on to what's called speaker view. And then whoever's speaking will be the main view. And when we put the video on, we can make that larger that way. I also have a different setup here. Hopefully that'll be an easier thing this time. So that's the little tip on that. It's called speaker view, and I think there's a setting on your computer for that somewhere. If you just kind of scroll around, maybe upper right-hand corner, it just depends what device you're on where that speaker view versus gallery view is. Okay, cool. Introductions. Thank you, Tom. That's me. Suzanne, Lisa, and Karen for sending in videos. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. Marilyn sent me a great circle game video. She did a beautiful change of direction on there. It's really coming along. Thumbs up, Marilyn. Who else sent me videos? Oh, Cindy Huff sent a follow-up video. She's going to have a lesson this week, so we'll report back on that. A video lesson during the week. And we've had actually a few other videos too come in for a little bit of help. And that's a kind of a nice thing to do while we're stuck. Speaking of that, I hope and pray that we can start to gradually open up, and as we do, we'll see what that looks like in terms of our clinic schedule. I have a feeling that it will open up and we'll be able to do clinics, but we'll have to change the format a bit to make sure we can all stay socially distant and safe, and we'll put every precaution in place to make it safe for all of us. That's our primary concern. In the meantime, the lesson packages are very, very popular. So I encourage you to go to tompompei.com and check out that. It's a 6-pack of lessons, and that includes a half-off clinic. I can travel to you, just pay my travel fee, and that's kind of a nice way to start the gears going here as we begin to open up and figure out what this new world looks like in terms of keeping everybody safe. So I'm excited about that. That's all on tompompei.com, like I said. And those were super popular, those packages. The price break is amazing. And then if you're a Savvy Club member, the price break is even more amazing. So check that out. Special deals for you. Cool. Those are the introductions. Let's see. That's all that. Don't forget, July 16th, I'll be doing a question and answer on the Parelli webinar. That'll be a lot of fun. As many of you can be there as possible, that would be great. And you all know I'm so passionate about trail riding and Parelli natural horsemanship and trail riding. So that's that. Make sure you are, if you're a Savvy Club member, make sure you're following the program because it's fantastic. There's so much there for you, and I can help you with that, being your concierge for helping that. And if you're not on the Savvy Club, we'll jump in. Just give it a try because it's a really great curriculum. That's the end of that commercial. Okay, old business. Any questions from last time? Any burning things you're confused about, wanting to ask? What is that? Mary has something to. Yes, Mary, unmute yourself and share that with everybody.
I just got it this morning, or last night it came through. Freestyle level 4, pass.
Yeah, woohoo! That is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to the club.
3 more to go.
3 more Savvies to go, right? Great. Fantastic. That is a great accomplishment. You know, level 4 really does mean something. It's really really a plateau of a strong foundation that then launches you to wherever you want to go next. So welcome. That's awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, you deserve it. You've done really well. So make sure you share that with everybody on Facebook too, right? Yeah, because you've had a lot of teachers help you. Jesse's helped you. John Barr, your teachers from the.
I'm doing distance learning with Ryan.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, we're very proud of you. Good job. Cool. Any other old business? It was like a business meeting. Old business. Great. Well, let's get on to footfalls, shall we? Footfalls are extremely important for a lot of reasons. If you were in the horseless classroom back in March, we talked a lot about getting to the horse's feet, talking to the horse's feet as a way to really connect. And in other words, what is requested or suggested through our body, if we can time it with the feet, the horse can be successful. And there's a whole lot we can do wrong on the timing to make the horse not actually even be able to do what we're requesting. And it begins with knowledge of footfalls. So let's do a review and have a little fun with it. I found there's lots of videos on YouTube of horses going in slow motion. And this one in particular I found was super, super great because they were talking about the diagonals. So I just want to make sure everybody knows the diagonal of a horse is like the right front and the left rear. That's considered a diagonal. And then the left front, wait, I didn't say it, right rear, whatever. It's the other way. Those are the diagonals. So when you're about to see this, it'll make a little bit more sense. So let's see if I can get, this is a little bit strange with my tech here. There it is over there. I need to make this the primary video, spotlight video. Okay, so you should be able to see a picture of a horse. That's pretty big on the screen, I hope. So can everybody see that? I hope so, because I can't see you. So anyway, so here's the first thing I want to show you is the trot. And if you can, I'm going to step over and see that. Is it working? Oh yeah, that looks good, Mike, thanks. So right there, that's the right front. That's the left front. That's the left rear, and that's the right rear. And so the diagonal here, the diagonal pair, are the red pair. And then the white pair is the other diagonal. So as we watch this, we're going to watch the trot at first, and hopefully it's going to go in slow motion.
Just like the back.
And you can see the diagonal pairs hit, then the diagonals pairs hit. So let's watch that again. It's a 2-beat. So right there, the red pair hit, that's the 1. And right there, that's the 2. Okay, making sense? So that's the trot. And the one that seems to confound a lot of people is the canter. And the canter is a 3-beat. So here comes the canter. The first step is right there. That's the right hind. The next step, beat number 2, is the diagonal pair. And then the last step is going to be the left front. So there's your 3 beats. Let's watch again. 1, 2, 3. So that's a canter. And the thing that you need to be aware of is right there is a moment of suspension where there's no feet on the ground. So there's 1, 2, 3, moment of suspension. Okay, it's easy when you can see it nice and slow like that. Oh, I was afraid that would happen. Okay, so now let's go to the gallop. We'll do the walk in a moment. The gallop is a 4-beat. And if you haven't had the privilege of riding the gallop, it's pretty great to ride. So let's watch this in nice slow motion. Right after the ad. Skip ad. There it is. Okay, there it is in slow motion. So here comes the first beat. There's the second. There's the third. There's the fourth. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a moment of suspension. Watch again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a moment of suspension. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, isn't that beautiful? 3, 4. Okay, so that's the gallop. So now let's back up and go to the walk, which is over back on this first video again. And the walk was kind of one that's a little bit difficult at first, because I wanted to start with these other ones on purpose. The walk tends to confound a lot of folks, 2 minutes and 59, because it usually is going very fast and it doesn't feel like what it looks like. So your walk is a 4-beat. Make that larger. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so those are the steps of the walk. Let's watch again. Three, 4. And it doesn't matter where you start on the 1, 2, 3, 4. Some people start from the front and count. Some people start from the other side to side and count. It doesn't much matter as long as you're aware of it. I like to start with the back feet because I always like to, the back feet are harder to feel, and I always like to feel the back end of the horse as much as I can. Sometimes I'll have to set my hand back here to feel it. And another great tip is to have somebody, like if you're on a trail ride, somebody behind you call it out for you. And you can kind of say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a good way to feel it and have somebody check you. So those are the horse gaits. I have to get back. Let's see if I can get back to my screen here. How do I do that? Under more. Sorry, I've got a little bit of cancel spotlight video. Okay, that should throw it back to me, I think. Yep. Yep. Yeah, okay, good. So do you have any questions about that? Or things that you think are super hard when it comes to things trying to feel those feet? You know, Susie, I'll call on you in a second. I remember the first level 2 that I studied was the VHS series. And I remember Pat saying you could take your savvy string, tie it around your horse's back leg, and feel it while you're walking, while you're riding. And I thought that was a really good idea, but there's a whole big prerequisite on that. Your horse has to be okay with things tied on their back leg. You wouldn't want to just try that until you've done it on the ground. Okay, so, Susie, go ahead. Unmute yourself. You had a question or comment?
I just wanted, are you talking me?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't tell which lead I'm on in a canter. Is that related to this?
It is, and that's another really good important thing to have somebody call it on the ground. You know, feeling leads is a developmental thing, first of all, and then secondly, some horses it's really hard to feel it. They might just not feel it, or like I've been who is it, Lightfoot? It's really hard to feel his leads because he can be on the wrong lead and do it quite nicely. So
right.
what Susie's talking about is right lead or left lead at the canter. So a right lead is left hind, diagonal, right front, and a right lead is, that was a right lead. And did I say that wrong? I always say left and right wrong. Let me start again. A right lead starts with the left hind, and a left lead starts with the right hind. So that gets confusing. One thing that helps is to go on a circle instead of a straight line, because then you can feel that it's just not comfortable. It goes like this when they're on a circle instead of like that. So that's a way to do it. Having somebody call it out for you is a great way to do it. It's like, especially if they can see it well, say, oh, you're on a left lead, you're on a right lead. And so you go, oh, shoot, he's not picking up the lead. Or and another good review is level 2 freestyle. There's a great video of Pat, and he'll have you reach way back here and touch your horse's rump, and I'll have you point way up here with your lead rein and get you in such a left lead position that your horse almost can't help but take that left lead. And so these exaggerations like that and like that help get the horse into those leads. But there's the Parelli program, the Four Savvies has a great little thing to get all that ready to go. And then it helps to also have some eyes on it. So if you're having trouble picking up your leads, shoot a little video, send it to me. I can help. Or let's do a private lesson. Excellent question. You know, Carol Coppinger was the one who I was so amazed with her. I was just starting this journey, and I was watching her at a high-level clinic, and she was calling leads before the horse left on the lead. Like the horse, she'd go wrong lead, and then the horse would start in the wrong lead. Then she'd go look, correct lead, and then the horse would start in the correct lead. And it blew my mind. And I went up to her at the break. I said, how do you know that? How could you call that out before the horse even left in the canter? And she went, I don't know. I could just see it. And I often wonder if she told me that because I wasn't ready to hear the answer. But the truth of it is you can see a horse set themselves up. You can see their flexion and their bend, and you can start to feel it. So yeah, that's what Susie said was dead on. It's a journey to feel that. Posting trot helps a lot. So if you're out of balance on your canter, you're not going to feel it. So getting a good posting trot where you're posting on the diagonal, that might be a good future lesson, video lesson, is diagonal postings, because when you post on the diagonal pair, you sort of get a balance and a feel for how that feels. So that can help also. Excellent question.
There's a hand up from the Spencer family.
There was a hand up from the Spencers. Go ahead, Lisa. Is that you, Lisa? Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, I was looking at footballs in the canner, and it did freak me out this week. And what I just saw when you showed it, like I couldn't see it on my own. When you called it the two legs, the 2 and 3 went at the same time. Not 2 and 3, but the diagonals went at the same time. So that helped me, and the thing that Pat does, like you were saying, when you want a left lead, you're going to have the right back start. And that's how I remember that, because of what Pat does. And then maybe what used to help me, instead of looking down, because that'll mess your horse up a lot of times if you look down at the shoulders, you can put your hands on their shoulders, and you can kind of notice which of your hips want to go forward, because that's usually the lead that you're on.
Yeah, nice tip. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good. Very good. Great. You guys ready for a test? The room just tightened up. All right, so the answer, does anybody else want to add anything? I'm sorry, I should give you another second there. Something resonate with you on that, or? I hate it when I'm on a right lead and my horse is on a left lead. It feels terrible, and it makes me sore. And it almost sets up a thing where I'm just not in the saddle, and I just feel so unharmonious. And so to me, that often tells me I'm thinking the wrong lead or something's wrong. That's the first thing I feel, is like, oh. So that helps me, is just like, this just doesn't feel good. And I remember that on that journey of when I realized that, it's like, hey, wait a second. The other thing you can do, and I thought of this a moment ago, was, so say you're cantering and you're not sure. And the problem, Lisa, is if you look down, you've thrown your weight forward, and really your weight needs to be back on the canter, because 60% of the horse's weight is on the hind quarter for a canter. And so if you throw your weight forward to look, and by throw your weight, I'm not really meaning throw your weight, but if you look down, your weight dumps forward, and it'll get in the way of the horse. So they might break the canter, or you might have other things. So if you can look down, great. But in lieu of looking down, if you're not sure, cheat. Don't tell anybody I said this, but just stay on that lead and change directions and see if it feels better. And if it does, chances are you were on the opposite lead to start with. So that gives you a feeling way of doing it. So you can start to educate yourself on how it feels. So I've done that lots, where I'm not sure, and there's nobody here who can call it. Rather than stop, I'll just change direction. And I like, oh, that feels awful. I was on the right lead. So, but that's a nice way to educate your seat, educate yourself on what's going on under you without having to break gait. And that's kind of a nice little trick too. Don't tell anybody I told you the trick. Marilyn.
Okay, if you're, say you're going to go for a right lead, you got your right arm out, stretched out, and your left back behind. Where's your seat bone supposed to be?
There's a spine on the horse, and then your seat bone is just like, say you're going on the right lead. You'll be on your left seat bone, but not like out of balance, all tipped over.
But you're actually pushing a little bit.
Yeah.
The left.
So level 2, right? Armpit hair and everything, hair flowing through the breeze. Okay. Level 3, I might just lift a rein and see what happens when I lift. See what happens when I lift here, exaggerate, it puts me on that opposite seat bone. Here, I'm just lifting a rein. This is way too high, but it's for the camera. I lift the rein a little bit, get in that seat and go. There it is. And when it gets to level 4, it's just a suggestion in my body. So these things do refine down. Good, Marilyn.
Thank you.
And some horses have physical problems. I mean, Lightfoot's a great example. The first, I don't know, 6 months we had him, he wouldn't take a left lead. It was brutal to try to get him into a left lead. Turns out his whole sternum was shifted, canted. We found a really good chiropractor who adjusted him, and it was like, that was the beginning of him getting really good with that. And so there's mental braces, there's physical braces, and some of that can play into it too. So it's always good also to ride like an old school horse that knows their leads. If you can find one, that's also awesome. Good, excellent, guys. This is good stuff. All right, ready for the test? It's not a test. There is no test, but this is a test. So you can answer this in the chat. And what I've done is, and I got to get over to my thing here. Sorry, technical issues again. Turn on the spotlight video. There it is. And I move over here. This is kind of a new adventure for me. If you look on the Facebook post, or I'll post it maybe somewhere else, I have a picture of what all this looks like. There's like tripods set up everywhere. All right, so I'm going to do this first one, and I'm going to ask you, what is this? What is this footfall? So if this is the rear, these are the hind quarter feet, these are the front quarter feet. That's the left hind, the left front, the right hind, and the right front. What gait am I in? Hint, it's a 4-beat gait. Oh, a whole bunch of people are saying walk, 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 walk. That's it, that's the walk. And it really doesn't matter what, it could start over here, it could start over here. It could go 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll really mess you up. But anyway, that's that 4-beat gait. I do recommend starting with the back feet. Just again, the more you can be aware of back feet, the better. All right, good job, everybody passed. And if you didn't, it didn't matter, because it's not a test. All right, so here's another example. This one, of course, if you're looking real closely, you already saw the answer. All right, what gait is this? It's a trick question. Yeah, you got it. Everybody's getting it. Walk, 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 walk. It's funny to watch the chat feature. Walk, 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 walk. Yep, it's just starting the other way. Good job. All right, let's get a little more fancy. And let's see, here we go. Trying to trick anybody, but what gait is this? Trot, 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 trot. Good job. Hey, that's correct. But I will give the free video lesson this week to anybody who can tell me what other gait this is besides the trot. Pace, good guess. Cindy, that was a good guess, but a pace would look different than that. A pace would be 1, 1, 2, 2. Somebody get it? Piaffe, good guess. Gallop, good guess. That's not right. Did somebody get it, Mike?
Somebody had it.
Somebody had it?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I'll rack, good guess, good guess. No trot. Let me scroll back on the comments and see who got it. It looked like it was Joe Temple.
Yeah.
Is that the first one? Yes, it's a backup. Did you know that the backup is a 2-beat gait? It's 1, 2, 1, 2. So it backs, it's a backup. Good job, Joe Temple. So excellent. All right, I'm hearing somebody unmute. Did they have a question? Do I need to call on you? All right, let's do another one. Whoever had the question, hang on to it and I'll get to it. Here's another good one. This is not one you're expecting. What gait is this? I see some quizzical looks. Oh, let me scroll down here to see what's happening in the bottom of the chat there. Back down, stand, limp. A good one, shock you. It's halt or stand still. Sleep, I like that one. You go, whoa, good. That is the standstill, right? Riding the standstill, one of the most important gaits there is. All right, let's take a look at this one next. You guys are fun. All right, here it is. What gait is this? Yep, everybody's getting it. Canter, canter, canter. What lead is it? Either a right canter or a left lead canter. Left, 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 left. Everybody's getting it. That's right. It is a left lead canter. Your diagonal pair is here, and it starts with this leg, ends with this leg. So it's going that way. Good job. And let's do another one. All right, what is this and what direction is this? So direction and gait. Yep, most people are getting it. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, canter right. Good job, everybody. All right, let's get fancy now. Here's a hard one. What gait and what direction is this? Yep, it's gallop. Everybody got that right. But it's a right lead gallop. So it starts there, ends there, and the only difference is your diagonal pair is divided. So 1, 2, 3, 4, moment of suspension. All right, I think we've got it. Good job, everybody. Let's see, how do I change that? Boom, let me get back to my view somehow. Getting better at this, guys. There's like 5 buttons that I have to hit to have it come back to me. All right, cancel the spotlight video. Okay, I think that did it. Am I back to me?
Now you are.
Now I am, okay. I'm back. Great. Good. Anybody having questions on any of that? I thought somebody unmuted probably because they had a question. Do you want to, anybody, do I need to call on you? Yes, no, maybe so. Cool. All right, well, if you have it, I mean, don't be shy. If you have a question, shoot it out there. The last one of these I did as a student, I had a really good question and I didn't ask it because the person before me asked a question that was this really vague, kind of touchy-feely question. And then I was worried that I would look stupid because I had a real specific, I want to know how you did that kind of question. So don't be afraid to ask, like, what in the world? I don't understand that, you know, whatever. Don't be afraid to ask those questions. And if you have a question that you don't want to do publicly, just text it or email it or put it down in the comment in the chats, and I'll get to it. Cool. And usually, if somebody does a question in the chat, I usually don't say what your name is unless you want me to. So you can protect your anonymity. Good. We're doing great. Fantastic. Okay, so let's go on now to the falling leaf exercise. So I have my question for you is, what is the benefit of this falling leaf exercise? And just to review, the falling leaf is you walk in a straight line, right towards the camera, and as you're walking, the horse does a hindquarter disengage, turns, does a half circle around you, and you keep walking, and a hindquarter disengage and turns and comes around you. So what's the benefit of the falling leaf exercise? So go ahead and type that in your comments. And while you're doing that, I'll get the next video up and ready. And I think it is, let's see, I just need to find my position here. Why falling leaf? Five. Give me a moment, folks. It's saddled. There's stick saddled. All right. Let's Okay, so change of direction and connection, flexion and connection. I'm just reading this, changing eyes. A lot of these are the same as the just the change of direction on the circle game. Learning a good pattern, absolutely. What else is down there? Scroll back down here, changing eye. Independent feet for person, leadership. Yeah, moving the forequarters, moving the hindquarters. Yeah, for me, it was learning how to manage the stick and rope. Yeah, it's really good for managing that on a circle. Great. The things I came up with too are it's good for tool management, improves change of direction. Connection is huge on this one too, because the horse is has to come in and look to you for new direction, and it's asking a lot. Weight distribution. The horse has to lean back to move the forequarters. They have to lean forward to move the hindquarters. So it's really good for teaching a horse how to distribute their weight correctly. It gets them more athletic. It gets them yielding better, makes them softer. They use their body better. Their bananas are better because they have to have a banana here and then change bananas to go there. So yeah, tons of things. Good job. All right. So this first video, I just want to show you the video. Then we'll do the geometry part of it, and then we'll break down the other videos that came. This is Styx, and those of you that know Styx, he's almost going on 2 years with us, and his development's been rather slowed down because of a medical thing. He's got ulcers, and we're still finding the right unlocking of that from management and medicine, but we're getting closer. We're getting a lot closer. He's come a long way. He had a setback last month, and the ulcer reformed. And we did some more diagnostics, and we discovered the ulcers in his hindgut. And we haven't been treating aggressively enough on the hindgut side of things. So I'm learning a lot about ulcers. Anyway, he's doing quite well, and I was really pleased. This was just from the other day, and he's saddled. And those of you that know Styx know that when he's having a bad ulcer day or having an ulcer issue, he equates the saddle as getting stabbed in the gut with pain. So this has come a long way. I'm pretty proud of it. But let's check it out. So I gotta change this again. Where is my cursor? There you are. Is my inner dialogue audible again? There we go. Okay. So this is the falling leaf with Styx. And he's somewhere about level 3 in the program.
He's very romantic, and I said to him one day, I want to go have lunch, and he took me there.
Okay, and then I want to show you one other little segment of that. And I'll tell you a couple things about why I'm doing things the way I am with that. There's some specifics with him. So I'm just advancing ahead here. And there that is. One of the things that I wanted to highlight with this is, one of the things that I really want you to see that Styx is struggling with is he's not disengaging his hindquarter right when I ask. So when he comes around, whom I've asked there. And if you look at the angle, this is what I want you to see, and we'll highlight it in a second. You see the angle, there's my look, it's squared up right on his hindquarter. And that happens when the horse is just about on the half circle. And so what Styx is doing is he's taking too long to disengage. That one actually wasn't too bad. And then he ends up way back here because he hasn't done a full disengage. So he has to tip his weight forward to do the hindquarter. And then that move right there was critical, where he took his lead leg over. Now, don't worry, I'm going to break all this down again in a second. So there's my look. There he started to disengage. Now watch this lead leg right here. And I call it the lead leg because he's about to go in that direction. It's the direction of travel is the lead leg. Boom, did you see him step that lead leg over? That's what I like, that's ideal. Then he can do the crossover. So let's watch that again. There's my look. There's the hindquarter. There's, I switched my tools. There's the lead leg, but he didn't put a lot of effort into it. But his second step, he let it over a little bit more. So this is real good gymnasticizing at a level 3-4. If you're doing this at a level 2, you really just go. Just go, the horse will sort it all out. You're moving the whole horse. This, what I'm talking about is a little bit more refinement. All right, so I'm gonna back out of this now, I hope, and I wanna show you something that has a little bit, might look a little confounding at first, but you know, that's what we adults do. We tend to take easy things, simple things, and make them complicated. And I fear I've done that here. Hopefully not too badly, but. So I need a pointer or something here. I'll just use my finger, it's fine. So you're walking in this direction, and right where I froze that video is when I looked at Stick's hindquarter. And I want you to see, it's this angle right here. When you're in line with the horse's shoulder, that's the best place to affect the hindquarter. So a lot of times if you're way up here trying to get it, or you're too close to the horse trying to get it, there's no room for that horse's head to come over like that. So the next time you're just doing a plain old hindquarter yield, start at the shoulders, step way over, big old step to the side. This is in the program. Then look, lift, swing, touch here. The horse then has room to bring their head through. So this is the same thing, just in motion with that. When you get to this angle, it's perfect time to look at that hindquarter. Then they execute the turn and go. So the horse would be turning like that. Right? So I'll stick this up. So I'll put it up somewhere. Facebook's been a little bit weird. They kind of limited the number of invites I could do because I've been inviting too many people. So I'll put this either up on the website or up on my Facebook page or something so you can get to it. But looking at that geometry makes it a lot easier when you see the falling leaf. So here is where's the overhead. So here it is from the overhead, and you can see a little bit more of the geometry. So right there, I've got the angles. My shoulder's in line with his shoulder. Switch tools, push the shoulder. So it's all driving game. There's the angle, switch the tools, push the shoulder. And he's doing a nice job of stepping that out. Let's look at that lead leg again. So there's where he took that lead leg and stepped it over so then he could cross in the front when I was pushing his shoulder. That's something to look for. I'll post all these too, so we don't, here's another better shot of him taking that step on his lead leg, where that leg's stepping over there, then he can cross the other one. There's the crossover. Okay. I feel like I'm dissecting myself. This is really weird. And then here's a nice shot of that angle. It's not very big. I hope you can see it. Oh, I can make it bigger. Oh yeah, there we go. I look like Superman there with the X-ray vision, or what's the superhero that can do that? Focus. Zoom. And you can see he's already stepped it under because his weight is dumped forward, which is correct. Okay, pretty cool. All right, so that's a whole ton of information. So a couple of pitfalls. There's plenty of pitfalls in this that can happen, and but they're easy. The thing I like about this is you can make this as hard or as easy as you want, of course, but it starts to smooth out really nice. And so Karen Sanchez, thank you very much. This is Karen's video. And what you're going to see here is some really nice smoothness where it smooths out really nicely. And her horse is really nice and relaxed on this. And there's vertical flexion. There's also longitudinal flexion going on here, which is really ideal. But keep an eye on how nice that is. And the other pitfalls that we fall into is not enough disengage, because that is key. Disengage is key. And yeah, we got to lower it. Thanks, Mike. It's pretty low on the screen. I think you're okay. Okay. Mike was just telling me to adjust the video a little. Thank you, Mike. Not enough disengage is a common thing. Not being human, not walking on a straight line is a common thing. Hopping the turn is a common thing, and I'll show you what that means in a moment. And then just tool management, and it's really helpful to pass the stick underneath, not over top. So let's take a look at Karen. Here we go, Karen. See how nice and smooth. She passes the stick under the rope. The horse takes the turn really nicely there. Okay, let's watch that again. Coming toward us. Nice and relaxed. Just want to back up. I want you all to watch Karen there. Look how smoothly she did, and she's just suggesting. So that's all this horse needs. So there, she's just suggesting with the shoulder. She doesn't even have to pick up her stick. She's got her lead hand out. Her shoulders are pointing, putting pressure right on that horse's shoulders. Now watch the horse. Whoop, right on over. So that's really nice. Very good. Very nice and smooth. The only comment I had for Karen is it would be nice to ask for a little bit more lead leg on the front end turns. So if you watch again as she comes up, if you can time your request, Karen, to the outside leg, and this is definitely a level 4 comment. The timing of the pressure to talk to the outside leg would help a lot, just to smooth it out even a little bit more. But that really is quite nice. Let me show you what I'm talking about, because it's a strange concept. So when the horse comes along, I'll be able to do it. Of course, the ball will probably be in the way. So right there is that lead leg coming out. See it? So if Karen can time her pressure request to right when the horse is about to pick up that lead leg, there, and there, time your request, Karen, to the outside leg, not the inside leg, and it'll be even that much smoother. The outside leg or the lead leg will cause the flexion to happen even better. That's really nice. I'd be really pleased with that.
Outside front leg or outside hind leg?
Outside front leg.
Okay.
And then on the rear, the hind quarter, you can ask for the outside hind quarter also. This is more of an engagement. That's the engagement leg of this. The inside leg is the disengage. The outside leg is the engage. Not to get too heavy or deep, but that's pretty heavy and deep. Okay. Good job, Karen. Thank you for sending that. This next one is my favorite one. It's Lisa. And Lisa, I'm going to play the one you sent, the second one you sent. The third one was really good too, but there's something on this one I just absolutely love. Can we see it okay, Mike? No, it's got to come back up. Okay. There we go. Lisa's on the road less traveled. I love the camera work. Whoever did the camera did a really good job with this. So Lisa's probably an error occurred. Oh, What happened, Lisa? Maybe I just need to, because if it's on Google. All right, try that again. That looks better. So Lisa's probably cringing because she says, I sent you a better one. But I really like this one because of Lisa's focus. And we can see the focus too because you're walking on a road. I love it. One of the hard things to do is to keep walking a straight line, especially if your horse isn't doing the disengage all the way. So look, she's staying on that straight line and saying, come on, you got this. She handled that really, really well. The only, and Lisa's managing her tools well. The only comment I had for Lisa was think more half circles, like start the hind quarter here, not there. Of course, that was just a circle, that's okay. So there, start the hind quarter, not back there. So just a little bit sooner on that. And then Lisa had made a comment to me. She said, you know, I saw one of the pitfalls was changing. You should, I think it's a little confusing. It says on the Four Savvies to change your tool while the horse is passing by you. And that's good if your horse is giving you a good hindquarter disengage. If they're not, you might want to keep your stick ready if you need it for the hindquarter. So very good job, Lisa. And I love how the horse is going different onto different surfaces and keeping confidence and looking at Lisa. It's a really nicely done here. There goes the shoulder. Really good. Excellent, Lisa. Thank you. And then I'm going through these quick, and then we'll do questions. So hang on to your questions. Please don't forget them. This is another great example of camera work. So whoever did this camera work for Suzanne, I want you to look at Suzanne's hands, because the camera is so nice and close. You can really see how she's taken the stick. I'll be able to pause it in a second here. Boom, look at that. She's taking that stick and she's passing the handle of it right underneath the rope while the rope is still on this hand. It makes it look really smooth. Then she can just drop the rope into her other hand. Watch again. Oh, horse was in the way. And look at, she's got that focus and she's marching along with the same tempo. That's really, really good. Really nice. And then since the camera angle was good on this, I want you all to look at something. We were talking about cueing the lead leg. So we're like right here. There's the lead leg about the step. If you wanted the horse to step it that way some more, a moment before that moment, you could put some pressure on the shoulder. And as the hoof is coming up off the ground, that's where you can influence it. Once it's all the way up and at the top of the stride, it's too late. It's on its way down wherever the horse intended. So if you think of it as a little arc here, right a moment before this, because it's already up, a moment before it came up, that's where to put the pressure, then release the pressure. And if the horse went forward instead of stepping to the side more, you would increase the pressure until they understood it. So that's timing of the feet. And boy, we can get real deep into that if we wanted to. That's some good stuff there. All right, good. So I'm going to come back here and see if I can find my way back to you all. And one more button. Cancel the spotlight video. Okay, am I back? Am I back, Mike? Am I back?
Yes.
Hey, good, thanks. All right, that was a lot. I went through that pretty quickly because I wanted to get to everybody, but some really great falling leaves. Does anybody have any questions or suggestions or things that resonated or problems that you're having with that? Or, oh my gosh, I did not get any of that. I didn't understand what Tom talking about lead leg. Whoa. Go ahead, Lisa. See a hand up for Lisa Spencer.
I do understand about lead leg, and that really helps. And what I meant about changing your stick is I was waiting too late on that video you showed to change my stick and ask for the disengage. When I studied it on the Savvy site, then I saw, okay, when your horse gets, about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, you start to ask for disengage, and you want it to happen when they're at your shoulder.
Yeah, excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, that, to be honest, I got confused by it too. I was looking at it going, well, it says that, but a lot of times language gets in the way of the actual feel and the look of things. And so, we're all just trying to figure it out and say, okay, well, that works. On a horse like Styx, it was like if I changed where I'm supposed to change, he wouldn't have given a decent hindquarter yield. The other thing I did, I screwed up my first horse big time on this because I thought it was really, really cool to go fast. And it's a guy thing. And I just start running with this man, and I'd go wham, wabow. And then he would go like this in the front. He'd rear up and do it. He'd pop up. And Lightfoot was doing this on one side too for a long time. I think we got it out of him finally. But it was kind of like, wow. And it looked really cool. And then finally somebody pulled me aside and said, that's not what's supposed to happen. And I went, really? Because I think it's kind of cool looking. He said, well, no, he's not using his body. He's throwing his body. And then his feet are coming after that. And it's adding a lot of tension in the wrong muscle groups. And I think it was Pat said, you need to quit squealing the tires on that horse.
You know what, Tom, I think that's kind of how he taught it at first. And if you look at his video, it's kind of what happened.
Yeah. Well, and it's okay. It's actually okay at first, but then you want to refine it down. Yeah. So, but I was just like making the horse pop up on purpose. And he wasn't really like, there's a thing called a rollback that's really ideal. And they roll back and do it. That's okay. That's pretty ideal. My horse wasn't doing that. He was rearing and trying to get through it. And his weight was all in the wrong place. And yeah, so it wasn't the rollback. The rollback's pretty ideal.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that so I can clarify that. Rollback's pretty good. And that's where the weight does shift back, and it does it really nice. Yeah, but this wasn't that. So what the advice to me was slow down on the turn, and then speed up. Slow down on the turn, and then speed up. And I think you saw I did that with Styx because I'm like, he's not ready to be just going fast on that turn yet. He's still learning where to put his weight, and I'm just putting all that in there. Then we can go fast, and then he'll have the flexions just the way it needs to be. So it's kind of a developmental thing. Cindy has a question.
Sorry.
Thanks, Lisa. Go ahead, Cindy.
Okay, yeah.
There you are.
So I was going to ask about that because I've been playing with this a little bit. And she will slow down. So when she comes around and starts that turn, she will slow down. So if she's trotting, she goes to walk, makes the switch, then starts trotting again. So at this point, that's probably okay, is what I'm hearing, is to
slow and right.
let her slow down. And now I know what to look for to ask her to step over.
Yeah,
Okay.
slow and right at first. And then if you choose to work on maintain gait through it, then make it about that. Don't make it about the flexions and the step overs and all that. Just say, okay, I'd like you to maintain gait.
Thank you.
But from and this is probably maybe my opinion, it's more important to go slow and right and learn the weight shifts so you get more juice out of the activity than just pushing the horse. What is it? Dave Ellis kept saying, in level 2, you're moving the whole horse. And level 3, 4, you're moving the horse's feet. I just thought that was a good way to kind of think of this. It's like, all right, well, at first, let's just move the horse. Let's just do it. They'll figure it out. Just move the whole horse. That's cool. And then when you start getting into the higher levels, you start thinking, okay, well, if I could talk to that foot and get that over, it'd be nice and smooth. Then I can ask for some maintained gait. Yep. And there's you can do this without doing the falling leaf too. You can do it in kind of like you make a circle, horse changes in front of you, you make the other circle. That's a nice little exercise too. A lot of people do front end yield or hind quarter yield, front end yield. It's in a lot of disciplines. Who's been to a Parelli clinic where we've worked on indirect rain and direct rain? This is it. Yeah, all of them, right? I hope every one of them. This exercise is exactly it. Indirect rain, hind quarter, direct rain, front end. So it's building in lots of good juice. Excellent, excellent. What's it called again? It's called the falling leaf because it looks like a leaf falling from a tree. Oh, there's another exercise. It's called backwards S that works real nicely with this. And that's where you walk straight backwards and cue the horse's shoulder around you in half circles. And then you can walk forward and do falling leaf. So backwards S, falling leaf, and then pepper in a circle game with the change of direction. And all of a sudden we're speaking high level paragraphs instead of not just 7 games. We're kind of putting it together to make some sentences and do something to make sense. Then for really a lot of fun, we were screwing around with this. We decided not to video it because I don't know, we just didn't have the camera out. Mike and I were playing, we put cones out. And we said, I wonder if we could do falling leaf, sending horses around the cones. We put like 8 cones, 4 on this side of the arena, 4 on this side of the arena. And we just decided to see if you could walk down the center and send your horse around that cone, and then around that cone, and then around that cone, and then around that cone. Then it turned into how many different figure 8s can you find if you had 8 cones out in the arena? And that's probably why we didn't video, because we were too busy messing around with it. But that turned into a lot of fun too. We got creative. Cool. Questions? Great. So if you want to be the student next week, send me a video, short video. If you want a regular video lesson, those are going really well. Pick something you're struggling with and send me a short video of that too. It works best if you put it up on YouTube and then we just talk together about it during the week. And then who knows, maybe one of those will show up on this coming Saturday. I'd like to keep them going. We should be hearing something soon about how things will open back up, but let's shoot for next Saturday and every Saturday after that, as far as I'm concerned, as long as there's not a clinic going on, or maybe we'll do one even if there is a clinic going on. So let's meet again and keep it going. I have a little bit of motivation for you. It's a quick 3-minute video, and I do a lot of work with leadership and kids. And I think this was produced last year, and I never saw it until a couple of days ago. It was sent to me, and I thought, oh wow, it's really good, because they interviewed the students after my session. The session was about leadership, and it's all kids that are they're leaders in their schools, in their band programs, and there's 2,000 kids at this national band camp, and they bring me in to talk about leadership and what that means with horses and how they can apply it to their school setting. So let me put this over there again. Let's see, spotlight video. Like I said, it's only a couple minutes long. And here we go. I'm a band director in Centerville, Ohio, and I've been doing that for about 27 years. And lucky for me, this last year, I've taken a year leave of absence just to play with horses and help people train horses. I'm like a horse whisperer. And I study with people who are really, really good at that.
I found it really interesting what he did, culminating what we learned both last year as the first year leadership experience, and then also this year with Dr. Chin yesterday, talking about people don't care how much you know, they only start to notice when you do care about them. And he kind of used a metaphor with the horses.
Horses are a great metaphor for leadership. They're preyed animals, so they're preyed upon, and we're predators. So if you try to intimidate and use fear, which most people do when they train horses, you get a scared animal who's shut down and fearful, or might even fight back.
Basically, he was saying treat like extroverts and introverts, how like introverts you want to be soft and quiet with them and not overwhelm them, whereas extroverts, it can be more upfront and more like exciting about it because they won't get overwhelmed just as easy as the introverts.
There are different types of people, and between introverts and extroverts and leaders that might get stressed out from time to time, and even meeting new people, it's hard to find a way to talk to each different person. And horses can actually feel your body language, and that releasing and pulling in energy can make them go or stop. And that kind of correlates to the conversations that you're going to be having with the incoming freshmen, and I hope to incorporate that when I go back.
So the first thing you do when you approach a horse is you do the horseman's handshake. It's just to hold that out, let him start. That's very good.
Yeah, me like
Okay.
pet the horse and then demonstrate hostility, as along with like the horse warning away and becoming more friendly with me. It was a good experience.
It's such an obvious thing, and it's using this method with horses has changed the way that I teach. And I started to notice that my leadership came up when I started to pay more attention to my students and their styles, not only their learning styles, but their personality styles.
We played a game with water balls where one person was tasked as a horse and one was the trainer, and through that we were able to learn how to lead without words.
Oh wait, there's one rule. No talking. Communicate by feel only. Go.
The leadership experience is fun, plain and simple. You get to stand around people that all over the country that are just like you, and like you all grow with each other, and you become better leaders overall, and you grow as an individual. And you don't get places like that. It's here.
So I just thought that was kind of neat. It was neat to see the horses, and I was shocked at, sometimes you ask somebody what they learned, and they just kind of stand around and say nothing, and you get that idea. But I was really pleased at what they got out of that and what they were talking about. Of course, they're bringing in a lot of the other learning that they learned through that week. The other reason I brought this up is there's a film crew coming over here to H&P, I think next week, and we're gonna do a virtual version of that camp. They've canceled the camp for this summer, but they're gonna have everybody sign up for the Leadership Academy part of it, and do that on Zoom or and then cut to some more video segments of the horse kind of things and kind of incorporate it that way. So it's challenging, but it also forces us to kind of refocus what it is we're delivering and how we're delivering. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that'll be really cool. So hey, that's it. Another fantastic one. I was really pleased at all the videos. I got a little nervous actually. All these videos were coming in. It was really great. So keep them coming and keep the learning going. We should hear something soon about what clinics are going to look like as we start to open up. And I'm excited for the summer. Go ahead, Lisa.
What's the topic for?
Topic for next time? Good question. Why don't you send me what you're interested in? I think the backward S would be really cool to look at. And then whatever else comes up for you guys. So we'll call it a free-for-all next week. Excellent. All right,
Thank you.
we're done. Let's do a savvy clap and I'll shut the video off and then we can hang out and chit chat. Savvy. Cool. Stop recording. Boom. Yes, stop recording.